Now we get into even more curious things about, about religious organisations, really. Because we're going to sing these three carols now that are in this tradition that is still being sung around the Sheffield area, the Peak District area, sort of the Yorkshire, Derbyshire borders, in the villages around there on the outside of Sheffield, really. And it's an oral tradition that's kind of been revived in recent years, although it's lasted for quite, a couple of centuries at least, I would think. And you think, well, how has this happened? And it's because these carols are typically sung in pubs, not in churches. And in sort of looking at the history of this, you kind of find out, what dirty tricks really religious organisations play on each other. So, kind of the Puritans after the Revolution or during the Great Commonwealth, when we got rid of a king, but we got rid of joy at the same time for some obscure reason. So they banned most of the singing in churches, and certainly banned carols. They even banned, for goodness sake, they banned mince pies. Because mince pies were considered to be a Catholic indulgence, so kind of, where do you go from that? So they banned singing, and then sort of the church allowed some singing back in, but you were only allowed to sing things that represented the actual words from the Bible. So if you had, for instance, a carol that wasn't a sort of direct translation of a verse in the Bible, then you couldn't sing that. And of course that's stayed in the sort of Presbyterian tradition. So if you go up to the Western Highlands of Scotland and the Wee Frees, that's what they do. They don't allow instruments in church, and they only sing in plain song, hymns and so on that are directly from the Bible. The words are directly from the Bible, and rather magnificent it is too. But it's a bit of a shame that you can't have all the other variety, in my opinion. Anyway, so all these things are kind of we've woven together, and I like to think that these people around the Peak District, the Yorkshire, Derbyshire border, also as we're preserving even more ancient tradition of the Midwinter Festival, which precedes Christianity, and we're celebrating the fact that it survived so long into the midwinter, and we're going to survive the rest of the winter, they hoped. Have a good binge up, a good feast, and stoke themselves up with some dancing and some merry singing to get them through the rest of the winter. And I think these carols sort of reflect that tradition. I'm going to sing three of them.
Hail, chime on, merry, merry Christmas bells, chime on. Hail, chime on, merry, merry Christmas bells, chime on.
While shepherds walk,
their flocks by night, all seated on the ground.
the angel of
the Lord came down, and glory shone around. Hail, chime on, merry, merry Christmas bells, chime on. Hail, chime on, merry, merry Christmas bells, chime on.
Fear not, said he,
for mighty dread, had seized their troubled mind.
glad tidings of
Great joy I bring, to you and all mankind. Hail, chime on, merry, merry Christmas bells, chime on. Hail, chime on, merry, merry Christmas bells, chime on.
to you in
It's time this day, is born of David's line.
a Saviour who
Is Christ the Lord,
who
Christmas morn.